Let's set up my FrankenPlanner for the month of July. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy and I want to thank everybody so much for joining me today. So yes, in today's video, I am going to be putting together my own FrankenPlanner for the month of July. Actually, I'm going to be doing it for the entirety of the third quarter. It's just easier that way. That way I don't have to worry about doing an August setup or even a September setup. I can be one and done and not have to worry about it again until October. So I am back in disc for some of my planners, which allows me the ability to now customize or FrankenPlan some of my planners. If you are new to the discbound world or the term FrankenPlanning, it is basically putting together your ideal planner by using bits and pieces from multiple planners. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I've done a little bit more difficult in the past where I've like done taping and pasted together different parts and pieces. I don't think I'm going to do that today. But yeah, we'll see. You never know. So what I'm going to be putting together is this is going to be my social media / creative projects planner. I'm going to be using the KellofaPlan dashboard planner. This is from 2025. And I'm also going to be using an undated Happy Planner monthly layout planner. This is the ones I'm going to be putting together, kind of like FrankenPlanning. And then I'm also going to take apart this MakseLife planner. I tried it out on disc for the month of May and June, and I liked it. It is so much better than these ginormous coils. This is it's such a big coil. So yeah, I'm going to take apart actually some of the early pages as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and put all of this in the discbound system. Because now that I'm taking it apart, it doesn't make sense. I thought about uncoiling it, but this coil is thick. It is not as easy to straighten out or flatten out as the Erin Condren. I could probably clip it. It'll be a little bit easier, but at this point, I'm just going to carefully tear it. So I'm going to remove all of the pages from the spiral or from the coil, and then I'm going to carefully trim it right along the edge, and then I'll just disc punch it. Yeah, it just makes a little bit more sense for me to put this in a planner system that houses other planners to increase the odds that I'll use it, because right now this is only going to be a goal setting planner and not be used for anything else. There is a horizontal weekly in here as well that I'm going to just go ahead and put in my FrankenPlanner as well, but I probably won't be using it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I kind of explained everything that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start here because this is going to take the most work. This is a KellofaPlan planner cover. I purchased this, I think, on Black Friday. Yeah, I decided to go with this one. I went with the purple one for the months of May and June, but now let's go with green. I don't know. I just feel like this will work for the next 3 months. I don't put much thought behind stuff like this, guys. I mean, I like a pretty planner cover. But this will probably be on here, like I said, for the next 3 months. I won't be changing it. I don't care that much. If you see some of my other planner covers that are so dirty and everything, you'll understand. That's why when I say FrankenPlanning, you can use pretty dividers, and everything like that. I just use whatever dividers that are there. I'm pretty simple when it comes to that kind of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and start removing some of these pages, like I said, carefully. I need to be careful not to rip it beyond the spirals, if you get too rough with it, but other than that, it should be fine. Okay. Now I'm going to do the whole entire planner, but I'm not going to do it all on camera. What I'm probably going to do, so on camera, I'm going to just do the quarter. And then I'll probably stop the video, listen to an audiobook, and go ahead and take out the rest of the year and cut it and punch it. That way it's ready. So that way when I go to do this again and at the end of September, I'll just pop it on disc. I won't have anything else to do. In all honesty, I might take out all of these and pop them on disc too. It's not gonna be that much work, especially if I'm listening to an audiobook or something like that. That way I have it all together. I'm not sure if this is something that I actually want to reference like next year or anything like that. Oh, I'm going ahead and ripping everything out right now. See, I just start talking and start going. Look at all of this. We're just gonna leave that in there for now. Yeah, because if it's something that I want to reference, I might want to keep it all together, but I don't know if this is something I really need. I don't have any really like big goals that I'm trying to achieve this year that I'm going to want to look back at and see my progress. This is basically just helping me keep my everyday life in order, if I'm being honest. So I don't really know that I'm going to keep this past this year. Maybe I'll keep it till like January, February to make myself feel a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna actually pull out my paper cutter so I can cut more. Actually, I mean, everything's a paper cutter, but I have like the little cheap trimmer. But this, I think, might be a little bit better to cut multiple pages. It's just they're not. Some of these pages are taped onto other pages because I was like already FrankenPlanning in the spiral planner system. It looks like it's like right there between the 6 3/4 and 6 1/2, whatever that is. All right, there we go. All nice and neat and done. Like I said, I don't mind like non-disc bound systems. I have quite a few in my lineup still, but man, some of these coils and spirals, they're just so large that I like to size them down by taking them apart and putting them on disc. Now, you could also, you know, size it down with a smaller coil. You can use like a notebook coil or something like that. A little bit more work, but you know, you could still do that. All right, so now I need to figure out, this is the hard part because I can only punch 3 at a time. I got to figure out where to put this, because this is the 8 disc punch and not a 9. Let's put some washi tape. Let's do some other washi tape. This washi tape I really don't use. So that way I like line it up about the same each time. So that way they'll kind of be at the same place each time. Of course, that is crooked as I don't know what, so that doesn't work. Let's do this again. Like that maybe? That looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I probably should invest in like a tool punch or something like that where you can do a little bit more paper than like the 2 at a time. I have a, you know, a crop it out punch, but that's, you know, you have to punch 1 punch at a time. So you don't want to do that either. So yeah, this is going to take forever. So I'm going to just skip until I come back and it's all going to be done through the magic of video editing. Okay. All done. There we go. I'm assuming everything was in order. I didn't double check it or anything. So if not, we'll deal with that when it comes. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pop these on the disc. Now these are going to be smaller than even 7x9 now because I did cut them down. So but that's smaller than a Happy Planner anyway. Happy Planner isn't it like 7 1/4 by 9 or something like that, or 7 by 9 1/4? I always forget which one it is. So it is smaller than the Happy Planner pages, so it's gonna not be the same size as the other inserts I put in here, but it's fine. Okay, there we go. 1/4 of MakseLife is in here, ready to go. Now this is my FrankenPlanner that I used for May and June. So I used the vellum from the Erin Condren, so I could use that as well. At this point, go ahead and take these out. I just like that in the front. It's nice to have it in the front. Do I actually need... I don't know. We'll just put that there for now. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put in the second one. Oh, all the little plastic things clung to it. All the little scraps clung to it. Okay. All right, now we are going to FrankenPlan these two planners. So the way I think I'm gonna do this is I like having the monthly layout first. I think I'm going to start with the one that's at the top. So this is the Happy Planner monthly layout. This is an older planner. I believe the monthly layout is now only available as part of the customized planner, which is very unfortunate because it's a really nice layout. I feel like it's very versatile, and I do feel like it's a good layout for those of you that need a little bit more space than like a traditional planner. So then this is a good supplement to another planner. Does that make sense? Like if you need to FrankenPlan, this is a good option for that. Just because you have another calendar, like sometimes you might feel like you need a double calendar. Like you might not need multiple planners, but you might need 2 calendars. This is a perfect layout for that because you can use the checklist for anything. I mean, my goodness, you can make grocery lists with that. So it's a great supplemental layout. I've tried to use it as a standalone layout. Didn't quite work as well for that, but I do think it's a really good supplemental layout. Now I'm going to add in the KellofaPlan dashboard. Again, this is from 2025. I used 6 months and then just stopped using it. So now we are going to finally use it. See, when I planner hop, it doesn't always mean I'm wasting. It just means I'll come back to it later. All right, so we're going to put this here. So this is also for July. Now, in theory, what I could do is move this in front of this. So that way I don't have the tab there. I could probably even cut that tab off. That way you have this divider, then you have the calendar. Then I'm gonna set up my monthly kind of to-dos and monthly priorities when it comes to both social media and to creative projects. And then this is just my brain dump throughout the month. And then we get into some more information. I will be using this. I'm just going to make this a Monday start. I'm going to cover the 2025. If I make this a Monday start, all of the days of the week will fall in line. So that would be perfect. And this is probably where I will write down videos and things of that nature. So this is probably where I'll start working on my video schedule. And then this will be like important dates that I need to remember as far as our Girl with Plans and stuff like that goes. So yeah, I might end up cutting this off. I don't know. Well, it's probably not that big of a deal. All right, so let's go to the second month. It is kind of a big deal. So yeah, I'm going to cut this off. I've had this planner in my stockpile for at least 2 years now. Now, obviously, you know, if I really wanted to FrankenPlan, I could do this. So I only have to flip once, but I like the double-sided dividers. These might be dividers that I'll use again. That's something that I love about like KellofaPlan, is she does have the double-sided dividers in her planners. Now, the Happy Planner Customized Planner also has double-sided dividers. I don't buy the Happy Planner customizable planners because I just buy mine on clearance. And they're never clearanced. All right. All right, there we go. That's it, y'all. That's it. Now, I do want to add some notes pages, and I'm going to pull that from my current FrankenPlanner. I need to take out my travel section of my current FrankenPlanner. Let me go ahead and do that. It's not quite the end of the month. I'm setting this up pretty early because I need to actually start planning out my social media stuff. I need to do that by the middle of the month prior. So I need to do that by the middle of June for the month of July. So that's why I'm setting this up early. But I want to take all of my travel planner stuff now that my trip is over with. And I want to put that back in my travel planner. Go back on the shelf now to my next trip. I do have some notes pages in here that now I can use from here. We have some of these quad pages. So we'll just throw these in the back. All right, guys, this is now put together. So let's do a quick flip. This took no time at all. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something. That's how quick it was. So I don't know if I'm going to put labels on this or not, because it's only really 2 planner sections. I don't really feel like the labels are going to benefit me. I like to have the tabs at the top just so I can see where the new section starts. But I don't really know if I need labels. We know this is goals, that's social media. But yeah, so here we go. So here's the Erin Condren Vellum. You can see here how the MakseLife pages are more narrow than your classic size pages. They're also a little bit shorter, but not as noticeable as the narrowness. And then I made it a little bit more narrow by cutting off the spiral, but that's how you can kind of see the size difference. And in case you had not seen what it looked like in my previous FrankenPlanner, you can see once you cut it off, it doesn't really obstruct any of these boxes. It doesn't really infringe on any of the writing space. Here it does a little bit, but it didn't really punch in on any of the numbers. So I think it's still like a good place. Like even by cutting it off and disc punching it, you still have, it doesn't really mess up anything is what I'm trying to say. Obviously here it really didn't take up anything, not here. Here, this side is fine. This side, it just comes in a little bit where the Saturday is. But other than that, I don't know that I would have, written that close to the margin anyway. So you can see by just trimming it, it really didn't impact your writing space that much, which is usually the issue that you might run into by cutting it down and disc punching it. And then we come to my social media / craft project planner. So here's the KellofaPlan double-sided dashboard. Cut this one off. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I may film it, but my idea is because I need to like pre-plan for the month ahead, I want this pretty much to be filled up by the time the month starts, because I want to start coming up with a game plan for what I want to happen for the month of July way before July gets here. And then once July comes in, I'll roll in here and start doing my week-to-week planning. That's the reason why I kind of like having this. Like I said, I already had a few of these planners in my stash, which is why I use them. I would need an actual calendar, but I could have made this. So if I didn't have this in my stash, I could have drew a calendar and then just put notes pages and use that to supplement the KellofaPlan dashboard. So that way I had some space for some kind of monthly planning. So that's always an option as well. So yeah, there we go. We have August and September. I don't love these dividers, but in all honesty, this is the only time I'm really looking at the dividers. I pay no attention to the dividers when I actually come in here to use the planner. It's just during setup when I'm like, ugh, that's not really that pretty. So I'm not going to worry about it. And then I just had, these are the same notes pages that was in my last one. So that's why I just put it in this one. I have so much note paper. So there we go, guys. That is my FrankenPlanner. So I previously set up my discbound planner for my hemlock and oak, where I pretty much did the same thing. I just punched it, created a cover, dividers, and all that other stuff. So I'm ready to roll, y'all. There's really no other actual setup, just, you know, setting up the monthly calendars, adding some stickers, and I am ready to go. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing. That is all I have for now, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.